Okay, now that we have the front glued, you're going to get your sanding block with a 100 grit. And what we need to do is we need to make this surface here, all these flat, but more importantly, square. So this needs to be 90 degrees. This needs to be 90 degrees. This needs to be 90, and this needs to be 90. Additionally, we need all of these to be 90. Now, you're not going to spend a great deal of time, but what I want you to work on is trying to get any surface. You'll notice right here, this piece is proud of this piece. So you definitely want to use your sanding block in order to keep this flat. We don't want it to make it a rounded edge here. Because what you're going to get, and what we're going to do, is we're going to take our frame here, and we are going to glue it on here. So if we create a gap or a rounded edge here, or a gap or a rounded edge here, you're going to see that where we want this to be tight right here. We don't want there to be a gap right there on that joint or on this joint right here. So you're going to take your sanding block with a 100 grit, and you're going to sand you only need to do 100 grit. The whole purpose is just to make this flat so that when you put a piece of wood here, there's not big gaps right there. Then the same here. Not big gaps there on the front, not big gaps on the back, right at that joint. Okay? So you're going to take your sanding block, go all the way around, sand the top, going with the grain to get rid of all your pencil marks. We are not rounding these edges, this edge, this edge, this edge, or any of these, because we want this, when it piece butts into our frame, which we're going to show you next, we want that to be closed, not to be a gap like this. Okay, so how well you guys sand and get these flush, this one you can see it's got a lot of gaps to it. So make sure that you take the time to sand, or if you're in the shop, to file those down, or if you have a plane. So it's going to be here. This one's pretty good. Goes here pretty tight. And on the front, so you can just test by putting a piece there to see. Then get your square and make sure that these are 90, or that they are 90 degrees right here. Okay? So really important as we get to our next step for those to be sanded smooth. So really take the time, again, how well you sand this, rounding these edges here, getting this sanded, making sure you sand inside so you're not seeing numbers like that. The back, getting rid of any pencil marks. So really take the time to sand this so that you get a clean look.